Hey friend, hit subscribe. 1 second for you, but it changes everything for me. I stood at the grave. Rain hitting the canopy. No tears. No stories. Just silence. It didn't feel like a funeral. It felt like a performance. My mother sat front row. Back straight. Hands folded. Face carved from stone. Not grief. Discipline. Naomi stood beside me. Her hand locked around mine. Too tight. Too cold. It didn't feel like comfort. It felt like control. And then, my phone buzzed. I pulled it out. Ready to silence it. Ready to hide the disrespect. But the name on the screen froze me. Dad. The man in the coffin. Message. I'm alive. Don't trust your mother. My chest locked. My pulse stuttered. I scanned the crowd. Umbrellas. Black suits. Dry eyes. No one looking at me. But tell me, would you believe that? Because I swear I felt eyes. I shoved the phone back. Kept my face flat. Pretended to mourn. Pretended I belonged. The coffin lowered. Soil hit the lid. Thud. 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 Every sound screamed the same thing. He's not in there. After the service, people drifted. Handshakes. Hollow words. Like actors leaving a stage. My mother shook hands with perfect rhythm. Like signing contracts. Not burying her husband. Naomi leaned close. Her voice brushed my ear. We should go. Too soft. Too calm. And I'll ask you. Would you trust her, knowing what I saw? That night I didn't sleep. I lay still. Naomi's breath slow. Mine forced. Every nerve screamed. Every second louder. The message burned in my skull. I'm alive. Don't trust your mother. By dawn I drove. East. Past the docks. To his workshop. The lock new. The windows clean. Too clean. Inside? Not his anymore. No smell of oil. No metal shavings. No coffee stains. Even the floor stains were gone. Erased. Like he never existed. I searched anyway. Because I knew him. He loved secrets. He loved hiding them. And then I saw it. Behind the old map. A faint seam. I pulled. A hidden box. Inside, one photo. One drive. The photo? Him, in a uniform I'd never seen. No insignia. No name. Beside him, children. Wires in their heads. Eyes empty. The drive? A single video. I pressed play. His face appeared. Tired. Thin. Alive. If you're watching this, I'm either dead or running. My throat closed. It started at the Naval Yard. Project Echo. Don't believe your mother. And Naomi. He leaned closer. Eyes sharp. She's closer to them than to you. The screen cut black. My hands shook. My chest burned. The two people I trusted most, suddenly enemies. Then, sound outside. Tires on gravel. Slow. Heavy. I crept to the window. A black SUV. Two figures inside. Not moving. Just watching. I killed the lights. Heart slamming. Breath ragged. The funeral was fake. The coffin empty. My father alive. And me? Already marked. I didn't go home. Not with Naomi waiting there. Not after hearing my father say her name. So I drove. Parking lots. Empty streets. The same black SUV in the mirror. Sometimes gone. Sometimes back. Paranoia? Or proof? By noon I knew. There was only one place left. I had to face her. My mother. The house looked the same. White siding. Blue shutters. Flowers trimmed perfect. Like nothing had changed. But tell me, would you trust a house that looked too perfect? Because I didn't. She opened the door before I knocked. Like she was waiting. Like she already knew. "Lucas," she said. Her voice rehearsed. Her face calm. "Come in." The pictures hit me first. Family vacations. Birthdays. All of us smiling. But now, every photo looked staged. Every grin another mask. We sat in the kitchen. She poured coffee. 2 cups. Not 3. No chair for him. Like he never existed. I didn't drink. I didn't smile. I cut straight through. "What happened at the naval yard?" Her hand froze. Cup midair. Eyes sharpened. "Where did you hear that name?" "Dad told me." "He's alive." And for the first time. Her mask cracked. I leaned closer. "He said you were part of it." She set the cup down. Her voice changed. Low. Cold. Clinical. "Yes. I was. So was he." The words hit like a blade. She didn't flinch. She didn't regret. She confessed like it was fact. It wasn't weapons. Not at first. It was memory. Rewrite. Replace. Transfer. A soldier who never fought could inherit instincts of killers. A child could carry the fear of another. No questions. No hesitation. Her eyes locked on mine. "Your father believed." Until he didn't. The photo from the workshop burned in my head. Children. Wires. Empty eyes. They were experiments? I asked. Her reply was ice. They were assets. I wanted to be sick. "He stole data," she said. "He ran. He dragged me down with him. And now, he dragged you. You buried an empty box." I snapped. "You knew." Her lips twitched. "Not grief. Not guilt. Something darker. You think you have choices. You don't. If he contacted you, you're marked. So disappear. Or join us." I stared at her. My mother. Her voice not love. Her voice a command. "You call that surviving?" I asked. She leaned back. Arms folded. "I call it winning." Then. Sound outside. Engine. Tires on gravel. I moved to the window. Another SUV. Same model. Same figures inside. They didn't knock. They didn't move. They just waited. My phone buzzed. Unknown number. Coordinates. Pinned on the coast. A nowhere place. One line of text. "If you want the truth, come alone." I looked back at her. She didn't move. Didn't plead. Just watched me. Like a scientist. I pocketed the phone. Headed for the door. "Lucas," she said sharp. "If you go there, you'll never come back the same." I didn't answer. I didn't look back. Outside, the SUV idled. Windows black. Watching. I passed it. Every step heavier. Got into my car. Turned the key. The funeral was fake. The workshop erased. My mother, liar. And now a pin on the map. Truth waiting. Left turn, home. Naomi. The lie of safety. Right turn, north. Unknown. Maybe death. I didn't turn left. I drove north. And tell me, if it was you, which way would you have turned? The road pulled me north. Mile after mile. Ocean on one side. Empty hills on the other. The further I drove, the less the world looked real. The pin landed on an abandoned naval yard. Rust. Barbed wire. Warehouses eaten by salt air. The kind of place no one asks about. The kind of place secrets rot. I killed the engine. Silence wrapped me. No gulls. No wind. Like the whole coast was holding its breath. One warehouse stood open. Doors cracked. Like an invitation. Like a trap. I stepped inside. Dust thick in the air. Oil stains under my boots. The faint hum of old wires. And then, a voice. Lucas! I froze. From the shadows he stepped out. Thinner. Older. But him. My father. Alive. My throat locked. My pulse stuttered. You're real, I whispered. He didn't smile. Didn't rush me. He studied me. Like I might vanish. They sent you? No. You did. The message. His eyes flicked to the corners. The rafters. Scanning for eyes I couldn't see. Finally. He nodded. He motioned to a table. A metal case sat there. He opened it. Stacks of drives. Photos. Notes. He slid one photo toward me. Children. Older this time. No wires. But their eyes? Not theirs anymore. They called it Project Echo, he said. Not training. Not memory. Identity. My stomach turned. What do you mean? They didn't just give soldiers memories. They gave them lives. Whole lives. A rookie would wake up with instincts of 10 killers. A child would inherit someone else's nightmares. Someone else's rage. He pressed his fingers to his temple. They built an archive. Voices. Personalities. And they grafted them into living people. I felt sick. Why you? They needed a test subject with clearance. Someone trusted. So they put Echo in me. He pulled down his collar. Ports burned into his skin. Metal scars where flesh should be. Sometimes I hear them. Other men. Other lives. Whispers that aren't mine. But enough of me remains to fight. I staggered back. The photo shook in my hands. So what are you now? He looked at me hard. A man. And a chorus. And the only reason they haven't erased everything. Before I could speak. Boots outside. Gravel crunching. Voices low. He stiffened. They found us. He shoved a pistol into my hand. Cold metal. Too heavy. I've never. No time. We ducked behind crates. The door groaned open. Shadows spilled across the floor. 3. 4. More outside. A voice called in. Calm. Steady. Lucas Harris. Come with us. Bring the drives. No one gets hurt. My chest hammered. Would you believe them? Would you walk out? Because I knew. They weren't here to arrest. They were here to erase. Dad leaned close. They'll never let you live now. You've seen too much. Another voice outside. 2 minutes. Then we move in. Dad's eyes burned. You ready to choose, son? Before I could answer, he kicked a crate. It crashed loud. Gunfire exploded. Sparks. Shouts. Concrete chips flying. I ducked low. Heart pounding. Pulled the trigger. The recoil jolted through me. One man fell. Another rushed. Dad fired twice. Silence cracked. Move! He barked. We bolted through the back door. Bullets snapped past. Air filled with metal and smoke. We ran into the night. The ocean roared close. Headlights flared, another SUV. We sprinted for the docks. Wood groaned under our weight. Behind us, boots. Voices. Shouts. Ahead. Only dark water. Dad stopped. Turned. Gun raised. This doesn't end here. They want Echo alive. And we're the only ones who can burn it down. The SUV doors slammed. Men fanned out. Weapons ready. And all I could think. My father was alive. But not fully him. Not fully mine. And if they took him, I'd never know who came back. We ran. Boots slamming wood. Bullets snapping past. The ocean roared, like it knew the ending. Ahead, dark water. Behind, armed men closing in. No exits. No mercy. Dad grabbed my arm. Left! We cut across the dock. Rusty stairs led down. Slippery metal. salt biting the air. We ducked under the pier. Shadows moved above us. Voices barked orders. Flashlights swept. "They'll trap us here," I whispered. Dad's eyes burned. "Not if we move first." We crawled along beams slick with algae. Water lapped below. One wrong step, gone. At the far end, a ladder rose up. Beyond it, an old lighthouse. Tall. Silent. Forgotten. He pointed. "That's where we go." I shook my head. "A lighthouse?" His voice was firm. "Signal. Range. Upload." We climbed. Hands raw. Muscles shaking. Every second felt stolen. At the top, the lighthouse loomed. Windows shattered. Door hanging loose. But inside? Equipment. A table. Batteries humming. An old satellite rig. Dad dropped the case of drives. He moved fast. Plugged wires. Booted an ancient console. "What are you doing?" I asked. "Sending it out. All of it. The files. The experiments." Echo. The screen glowed. Progress bar crawled. 1%. Outside, engines roared. SUVs surrounding the base. Doors slamming. Boots hitting dirt. "They'll storm us," I said. "Then we hold," he answered. Calm. Like he'd done this before. The first spotlight swept across the glass. Shouts followed. "Drop your weapons! Come out!" Dad raised his pistol. "Don't listen. They want the drives. Not us." The progress bar, 12%. Glass shattered. Bullets ripped the wall. Wood splintered. I dropped behind the table. Dad fired back. Echoes filled the tower. Every shot louder than the last. I peeked out. Men moving fast. Helmets. Night vision. Too many. "Tell me the plan," I hissed. "The plan?" He reloaded. "Survive until 100%. The bar, 34%. Another volley. Bullets tore through wood inches from my head. Dust filled my lungs. Dad dragged me behind cover. "Focus on the upload. I'll handle the rest." "Handle?" I snapped. "There's 20 of them." He looked at me calm. "Then I'll drop 20. The bar, 51%. Grenade rolled in. Dad kicked it back. Explosion rocked the ground. Glass rained from above. I couldn't breathe. Couldn't think. Except. The files had to get out. "Why does it matter?" I shouted. "What's in them?" He fired 3 more shots. 1 man fell. 2 retreated. "They archived lives," he said. "Personalities. Stored in fragments. Transferred like code. And some of them. Children. People erased, so their voices could be sold." My stomach turned. "Sold?" "Yes. Echo isn't just a weapon. It's a market. Memories for hire. Obedience on demand." The bar, 72%. The spotlight swept again. Another shout. "Last warning!" Dad laughed darkly. "They always say that." The wall shook. A charge blew the door wide. Men stormed in. Dad shoved me down. Gunfire roared. Muzzle flashes lit the room. I scrambled to the console. The bar, 91%. 1 man lunged at me. I swung the laptop into his face. He dropped. Blood spraying. I screamed. Pressed the keys. The bar, 98%. "Dad! Cover it!" he shouted. I raised the pistol. Hands shaking. Pulled the trigger. Twice. 1 hit. 1 miss. The man fell. Another rushed. But then. The console beeped. Green light. 100%. The files were gone. Broadcast. Echo in the open. Dad fired again. The last man dropped. Silence. Smoke. Shells on the floor. My chest heaved. My ears rang. The world swayed. Dad staggered to the console. Checked the screen. It's done! But then. A whisper. Not his. Not mine. Low. Strange. I stared. His lips didn't move. But the voice came from him. I told you, he said. I'm not alone in here. My blood froze. And tell me, if your father spoke with voices that weren't his, would you still call him your father? The files were gone. Broadcast. Echo unleashed. Dad leaned against the console, breathing hard. Eyes wild. It's out, he said. No way to bury it now. But I didn't feel relief. I felt the floor tilt. Because once the truth escapes, the world hunts you down. We climbed down the lighthouse stairs. Bodies in the dirt. SUVs abandoned. But I knew this wasn't victory. It was only round one. We moved fast. Back roads. Fog hiding more than it revealed. By morning it started. Phones buzzing. News feeds lighting up. Headlines spilling across every screen. Leaked files show secret military program. Children experimented on. Project Echo, real or hoax? The world wanted answers. The government wanted silence. And me? I wanted to breathe. We holed up in a motel by the coast. Cheap room. Thin walls. Smell of bleach that didn't cover the mold. Dad sat on the bed. Head in his hands. Murmuring. Not to me. To them. The other voices in his head. I pressed my back against the wall. Watched him. And I'll ask you. If your father whispered to ghosts, would you still call him family? I closed my eyes. Tried to rest. But the nightmares came before sleep. Children wired like machines. Eyes hollow. Naomi's hand gripping mine at the grave. My mother's voice calling them. Assets. I jolted awake. The TV glowed. Dad had turned it on. And there she was. My mother. On live news. Her face calm. Her voice smooth. This leak is misinformation. Fabricated. Designed to damage national security. She lied to millions. Like it was nothing. I wanted to scream. To punch the screen. But Dad grabbed my arm. Don't. Watch. She continued. Even if Echo existed, it was abandoned. The files are staged. This is an attack on stability itself. And then, her smile. Not for the camera. For me. I swear she looked through that lens. Like she knew I was watching. The reporter asked. What about your husband? She paused. Dead. Buried. My son grieves with me. A dagger twisted in my gut. Dad muttered. She's already spinning it. Painting us as ghosts. Or traitors. The TV cut. Another face. Naomi. My wife. She stood outside our house. Police behind her. Tears on her cheeks. I just want my husband safe. He's lost. Confused. He doesn't know what's real anymore. Her performance was perfect. Too perfect. My blood boiled. But Dad? He laughed. A dry, broken laugh. She's good. Almost better than your mother. I turned to him. Why did you tell me not to trust her? He stared. Because she wasn't chosen by you. She was placed. The word cut me. Placed? He nodded slowly. Echo doesn't leave marriages to chance. She was assigned. To watch you. To guide you. Or erase you, if needed. My hands trembled. The nights we shared. The vows. The secrets. Were they hers? Or Echo's? Before I could respond. A knock at the door. 3 taps. Slow. Even. We froze. Dad raised his pistol. Another 3 taps. Then silence. I checked the peephole. Nothing. Then, something slid under the door. A phone. Old. Burned. Screen cracked. It buzzed once. A message glowed. We know where you are. 48 hours. Choose a side. I stared at it. At Dad. At the darkness outside the window. 48 hours. That was all. And tell me, if you had 2 days to choose between blood and betrayal, which side would you choose? The phone buzzed once. Then went dark. 48 hours. 2 days. No safe choices. Dad whispered. Not to me. To them. The other voices in his head. I pressed my palms to my face. 48 hours. And no safe doors. The TV blared again. More headlines. More noise. Project Echo leak spreads. Authenticity questioned. Government denies involvement. But I knew. The truth was out. And when truth is out, liars fight twice as hard. Dad turned to me. They'll send her. I swallowed hard. Who? But I already knew. Naomi. He nodded. She's your weak spot. Your anchor. Your leash. I wanted to scream. I wanted to deny it. But deep down, I remembered too much. Her grip at the funeral. Her calm when danger closed in. Her whisper, we should go. How long had she been playing me? Months? Years? Our whole marriage? The door rattled. We froze. Dad raised his pistol. A voice outside. Soft. Familiar. Lucas, it's me. Naomi. She didn't knock. Didn't shout. She just stood there. Quiet. Confident. Open the door, she said. I just want to talk. Dad shook his head violently. Don't. I whispered back. She knows we're here. He hissed. Let her talk to the wood. Not to you. But she kept speaking. Her voice sliding under the crack. Lucas, they're not lying. Echo is real. But your father? He's broken. Her tone sharpened. He's not the man you remember. He's just the voices they left behind. I clenched my fists. Because hadn't I already asked that? Was he still my father? Or just a container for ghosts? Naomi pressed harder. You've heard him whispering. You've seen the cracks. Be honest, Lucas. When you look in his eyes, do you really see your father? Dad slammed the wall with his fist. She's Echo. Nothing else. Then silence. I checked the peephole. Empty. She was gone. But SUVs still waited outside. Engines off. Watching. Dad lowered the pistol. Next time, she won't talk. She'll strike. He pulled the curtain back. SUVs glowing faint red. Like predators in the dark. We have 48 hours, he said. To move. To finish it. Or we're dead. I paced the room. What's left to finish? You sent the files. He shook his head. The files aren't everything. They'll say they're fake. Until we show proof. Proof no one can bury. I frowned. What proof? He looked at me hard. Echo isn't just data. It's people. The children. The ones they called assets. My stomach twisted. You mean, they're alive? He nodded. Not all. But some. Hidden. Controlled. Waiting to be used. I staggered back. Images burned in my mind. Children wired like machines. Eyes empty. And now. Still out there. Grown. But not free. Dad's voice hardened. We find them. We show them to the world. That ends Echo. My hands trembled. How do you even know where they are? He tapped his temple. They left fragments in me. Coordinates. Names. Faces. I shivered. Because when he said that, I didn't hear just his voice. I heard others. Layered. Whispering through him. I grabbed his arm. Dad, are you still in there? His eyes met mine. Tired. Haunted. For now. he whispered. But echo doesn't wait forever. The clock ticked loud. 48 hours. Children locked somewhere? Naomi outside. My mother on TV twisting the truth. And me, stuck between ghosts and blood. Dad leaned closer. We go tonight. Where? I asked. He closed his eyes. When he opened them, his voice fractured. An old facility. North Ridge. Where the first Echo kids were kept. I swallowed hard. You're sure? His eyes flickered. Not just him. Other voices staring back. I'm sure enough. I turned away. Gripped the phone still lying on the floor. 48 hours. A choice between silence and fire. And tell me, if you had to walk into a place where children were turned into weapons, would you go? We left before midnight. No lights. No noise. Just the road pulling us north. Dad drove. Hands locked on the wheel. Eyes flickering. Sometimes his lips moved. But the words weren't his. They were theirs. The voices. The ridge rose ahead. Fences rusted. Towers dead. But don't be fooled. Places like that are never empty. We cut the wire. Slipped inside. The hall smelled of dust. Of mold. Of rot. Signs still read. Property of Project Echo. Dad led me deeper. Like he remembered every turn. Or like someone inside him was guiding. We stopped at a steel door. Scratched from the inside. He pressed his hand on it. They kept them here. He pushed it open. Rows of beds. Straps dangling. Monitors dead. But the walls still screamed. Then, a sound. Not memory. Real. Footsteps. Small. Light. A boy stepped out. 16. Hollow eyes. Then a girl. 15. Scar on her temple. Alive. My chest caved. They weren't files. They weren't photos. They were here. Dad whispered. They trained them. Kept them. Waiting. The boy tilted his head. You're the host. Dad stiffened. I was. The girl's voice cut sharp. You still carry us. His eyes flickered. Dozens of voices behind them. I grabbed his arm. Stay with me. Floodlights exploded. White. Blinding. Boots thundered. Voices barked. And her. My mother. Soldiers at her back. And Naomi. At her side. Rifle in her hand. Calm. My world cracked. Lucas, my mother called. It's over. Give us him. Walk away. Naomi's voice slid in. You don't need to die here. Come back. My throat tore. Who do you trust, when everyone you love is a liar? The soldiers closed in. The Echo kids stood still. Dad trembled. I lifted my gun. No. The first shot cracked. Chaos ripped the room. Dad roared. The kids moved like shadows. Fast. Lethal. Naomi rushed me. Eyes locked. I pulled the trigger. She fell. Silent. My mother screamed. Rage. Not grief. She raised her hand. The soldiers surged. But the Echo kids turned. Not at me. At her. They swarmed. Years of control breaking at once. She vanished under them. Her voice strangled. And then, gone. The room fell silent. Only my father gasping. His knees buckling. I caught him. His eyes layered. His voice fractured. It's done. Echo is finished. But so am I. I shook my head. No. Stay. He pressed something into my hand. A drive. Cold. Heavy. This is me. What's left? Don't let them use it again. His eyes closed. Peace at last. I stood there. The children staring. Free. But broken. Outside. The sky cracked with dawn. New light over ruins. And me? Alone. Marked forever. I looked at the drive. My father's last piece. And I'll ask you, if holding the last echo of your father meant burning the world to keep it safe, would you do it?